Hi everyone, welcome to Christmas Made Easy, the big beauty night in. I am Sonia, Haria, beauty director of the Telegraph and Stella magazine, and I am so thrilled to see so many people already joining. It's amazing. So I'm going to be joined today by two of my all-time favourite makeup artists, and I am just beyond delighted that they have taken up the time to share with me and share with you some of our favourite Christmas festive makeup beauty tips. So we've got Lisa Potter-Dixon, who is awesome, and as equally as awesome is Adeola Gboyega, who is an amazing makeup artist as well. So without further ado, I think they will be joining me very shortly. Lisa, hello, how are you?
Thanks. Very excited about this. Oh, here she comes. I can see her.
Hello. Hi everyone. How are you both?
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I mean, I've got all the festive feels today. I feel like this is almost like my first step into the festive season. So I'm feeling very jolly and happy and chin to that. Oh, look at that. No, it's already. And actually, Lisa, I think have you put up your Christmas wreath already?
Okay, now I did put up my Christmas wreath today because I made one today, but I haven't put the tree up yet, but I am surrounded by decorations, just waiting for the right moment.
The time is coming. So if we could have a little introduction for each of you, if you wouldn't mind saying a couple of words about yourselves as a makeup artist. Lisa, let's start with you.
So hi everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. My name's Lisa. I'm a makeup artist. I have been for over 16 years. So I shoot a lot of editorial, including with the lovely Sonia. We've worked together forever, shooting for some of the best magazines, and really for me, the Telegraph. Whenever I shoot you guys, I love it. I'm also a best-selling author, and I host a podcast with my husband Theo, who's sat over there playing FIFA with his headphones on. And I'm so happy to be here because Sonia and Adeola, we've all been friends for years, and honestly, I know Adeola will say about herself in a minute, but I just have to say, for me, Adeola, I'm so proud of you. You know that you've been smashing it this year, and you're just wonderful. I'm so excited you're here with us.
Thank you.
Well, that's a great segue. Into Addy. Let's hear about you.
Hi everyone, my name is Adeola Gboyega. I've been a makeup artist for 10 years. I've worked with Lisa on her incredible team. She's amazing, a great mentor to myself. Sonia, I obviously love exactly what you do as beauty director at Telegraph, but there's just so many things that I love, and for me, makeup is like my home. It's like what I really enjoy and love doing, and I'm really excited. I also work as Artistry and Education Manager for Telegraph Labs, which is really exciting because I absolutely love her brand. And, as a woman of colour, just to kind of really be able to kind of express myself and talk about, makeup and skincare is really what I love. And I think people really know me for my glow. I love the glow. That's the thing that I really enjoy the most. So I'm really excited to get in the festive spirit with you guys tonight.
I mean, you're a perfect example of that glow. So to begin with, we're going to talk through some of our favourite ways to spice up our makeup a little bit for Christmas. So we'll be covering off base, eye makeup, and also how to achieve that perfect red lipstick. And then towards the end, we'll maybe talk about a couple of our favourite gifty bits for this Christmas. It's in like 6 weeks' time. I can't believe it. So soon. So let's start with base, because that's kind of that's the real canvas for a really good kind of jazzy makeup look, isn't it? Lisa, let's go to you first. Well, how do you create your glow? Because
I know like all three of us absolutely love a glow, like you mentioned a minute ago, Son. And do you know what? Actually, to get that glow, it starts with the prepping of your skin. If you do not prep your skin right with good skincare, you're never going to get a foundation that sits properly. I feel like the technique I use to apply foundation on myself, but also on when I'm shooting, etc., I actually like to use small brushes. So more like a compact eyeshadow brush and the warmth of my hands rather than using a big foundation brush. And I like to layer. I know we're all fans. We spoke about this earlier of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter. We all love that.
I've got mine here.
I've got
it
mine
here.
on. I left mine upstairs, but we were talking, typical. We were talking about this the other day about how it's so great for all skin tones and how having it underneath your foundation, anything that gives you that kind of glow, it makes it last longer, doesn't it?
So much longer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how would you suggest I use this? So I've only got a bit of concealer on at the moment, but I think some people might be a bit frightened of it being a bit shiny, but it doesn't leave a shiny finish, does it?
It's more than the luminosity. Chuck it on, girl. That's what I'd say. Chuck it on. I think that about everything. But chuck a bit there, bit on the forehead. Maybe you can put a bit on the chin, but maybe avoid the chin because sometimes you don't want that to be shiny. And then just chuck it on. I mean, you see, Addie, if you just put it in the center of your face, you've got that glow right in the perfect place.
Yeah, even just on the cheek area, just anywhere. But do you know what I loved about it is that even if you didn't want to wear any makeup, it just makes your skin look incredible. Like, I was so surprised about how even it made my skin, and I feel like it's got some color correcting properties to it as well.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to even out your skin before makeup, just apply that with your fingers or with a buffing brush, just as Sonia's doing now, and already you can see that beautiful glow coming through.
Look at glow.
I love that. So I'm using shade 5. What shade are you both have you used or are you
7.
using?
And number 2.
7.
2 for me. So
right. I mean, that's great. Yeah, because it really does come in quite a varied option of skin shades, which is
it's so important now. I think, ultimately every brand out there, no one has an excuse to not be inclusive with everything that they do, and any brand that isn't will be called out and has been called out. So I think Charlotte Tilbury is a really great example of a brand that has something for every single skin tone and age out there as well. I mean, she did a blooming advert with Joan Collins, for goodness sake.
Exactly. Oh God, I love Joan. And so we always get asked about concealing tips, and I know we're saving some questions towards the end, but it's such a big topic, isn't it? What are your best techniques, Ade? Let's come to you. What are your best techniques for kind of really getting rid of that shadow under the eyes?
I think the biggest thing is obviously prepping the area with hydration. So a really good eye cream. Some of my favorites are Bobbi Brown do a really good hydrating eye cream, and then also La Mer do a really beautiful eye cream as well called the Concentrate, which is amazing because that initially will take away that sort of like dryness or any texture, because as soon as you put makeup on, the worst thing that can happen is if you have dryness and texture, then try and go in with like a concealer. And then color correcting. That's one of the biggest things, because sometimes a concealer isn't enough. And I feel like, those darkness, all that darkness that you experience under the eyes, you need a really good corrector. So Bobbi Brown do some great variations. The creamy corrector is amazing. If you have a lot of blue under your eyes, go for a pinky sort of tone, like a bisque tone. And then if you have a lot of brown or even like a lot of sort of purple, you could even go with like a little bit of a peachy tone as well, which is amazing. Use that to color correct, and then go in with a bit of concealer afterwards. I love the Pat McGrath concealer. I think it's amazing for the under eye, just to give a bit of a brightness as well. And they have some color correcting tones which are really, really good. So yeah, eye cream, color correct, and then a bit of concealer as well.
What's your favorite?
Oh my God, honestly, I chop and change, and I love the NARS creamy concealer. I love this one by Dolce & Gabbana, actually, is amazing. It's really good. It's called the Longwear Concealer in Neutral. I also love the Maybelline concealer. It's got a little sponge on the top, and it's really so good. But what I would say, because this is the question that we get asked, all three of us get asked all the time, is like, what concealer doesn't crease? Any brand that tells you that their concealer does not crease is lying, because actually it's impossible. Listen, we laugh, hopefully, smile, cry, whatever. All our emotion is shown in our eye area. So imagine when you're smiling, and I don't know about you guys, but I am overly smiling in masks now, so that people are like, but we get those lines, which I just think actually the more we've got, the happier we are, and to have your concealer there and not expect it to crease, it just doesn't work. But like Addie said, by making sure you prep, so important. And then I like to just dot a couple of bits of concealer there, and I always put it over my foundation. That's always a question I get asked too. Yeah, I mean, I would color correct first, and then color correcting is something which takes, like Addie explained it so well. But if you don't know about it, then feel free to ask us afterwards, because it's quite a long process and very personal to your skin tone underneath the eyes. But color correct, then your foundation, then your concealer is the way that I would do it. And then again, it's the fluffy eyeshadow brush for me. Just really getting in there. I mean, look, there's no filter on this. Obviously, none of us have got a filter on. And you can see that it gives you that initial flawless base. Then I just pat around the edge where it would connect with my blusher. And that is going to give you a flawless finish. Do you either of you powder? I don't powder under my eyes, but if you're oily, I probably would.
No,
Powder, but
no, I don't powder. I mean, is the idea with powder? Sorry, Addie. Is it just to kind of keep it as light-handed as possible? Because I feel like powder's a tricky one, isn't it? It's so easy for it to look quite obvious on the skin, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, little and little and often is probably a better way to go for it than like a heavy powder that just looks too sort of dry and under the eyes. So yeah, I agree. But also, again, it depends on your skin type. If you've got drier skin, avoid it and go for more of a moisturizing formula. If you've got oily skin like myself, then go for a matte concealer and then a little bit of powder just to kind of, set everything in place.
Yeah. And can I say as well, that's a really good point that Addie just made when it refers to foundation as well, because a lot of people ask about different foundation. I mean, I'm liquid foundation through and through. But before we went live, we were talking about the fact that there are loads of different formulas. My favorite is the Armani Luminous Silk. That's my favorite foundation, full stop. But the NARS, I know you've got it on, Addie, have just launched a new matte foundation. And what's happening now with matte formulations is that you don't have to think, well, I'm going to be completely flat. They're giving you that luminosity by adding something like the Flawless filter underneath. You're going to layer it. I mean, look at Adeola's skin. It's perfect for oily skin, right?
It's incredible.
So beautiful. I mean, I love that actually I put the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless filter underneath, but you still get that glow. I mean, look how beautiful that is. Gorgeous. That's what I have on. Usually with a matte powder or foundation, you feel like, oh, it's too much, but this isn't at all. And again, it's that prep.
And it's one of those things, isn't it, that I think formulas now have come on such a long way, haven't they? Like, even in a matte foundation, it's not byproduct of having a really sort of cakey finish on the face, like that the NARS soft matte foundation. It kind of gives you that kind of velvety finish, isn't it? It's almost a velvet finish on the skin.
Like your skin. That's as simple as it is. It's not about having a mask on. Your skin should look like the best version. You are beautiful with or without makeup, but thank goodness for makeup, because we all want it and probably need it every now and again.
Exactly.
Oh gosh, yeah. There's nothing more I love, and I'm sure you both are the same, than having half an hour just to actually properly do makeup. It's so fun. So next, the next thing is bronzer. So just kind of warming up and like livening the skin a little bit. I was always quite wary of bronzers because I feel like old-fashioned bronzers, the tones just weren't right for me and just didn't work for my skin tone. But I feel like actually in the past kind of 1 or 2 years, there's been such an amazing influx of really brilliant bronzing powders. Do you guys have personal favorites, and how would you use your bronzer? Let's start with you, Lisa.
So for me, I mean, I love a bronzer. I mean, I just love it. I think that, like you say, everything's changed. Maybe even 5-10 years ago, it was all about the contour, and as makeup artists, that's something we've been doing forever. But it was like the Kim Kardashian type of crazy contour with 28 products on your face, and you're like, oh my god. But the power of a good bronzer is what it does is it gives you a healthiness to your skin, and it just brightens it. Anyone can wear a bronzer, thank goodness, now, because of brands like Fenty, who have brought out the most incredible rich and incredible fair tones of bronzer. It's not just for someone that is fair, because a bronzer adds structure to your face. I love a cream block bronzer as well, and the liquid one. Chanel Healthy Glow bronzer will forever be a favorite. I mean, it's so good. Also, Bare Minerals, their faux tan liquid, amazing. Of course, because of my history of who I used to work for, Benefit Hoola, it's a classic. And if you're unsure, my technique that I would say is to do a figure of 3 either side of the face and then down the neck for just a really quick, subtle bronze.
Yeah, I agree. I tell you everything that you said, Lisa. Absolutely. I love bronzer. I love the Charlotte Tilbury one, which I have here, the Airbrush Flawless Bronzer. Beautiful colours. Actually,
I love that.
I flip between their number 3 and then their deep number 4 shade. But what I love bronzer for is for colour correcting, because as a deeper, darker skin tone, my chest can be slightly warmer than the rest of my face. And obviously, when we're not able to go on holiday, a really great way for me to add that warmth and colour in is with a bronzer. And so what I do is I just take a really big fluffy brush, and like Lisa was saying, just take that and just kind of buff it over the skin. So it just gives you that really illuminated glow as if you've had been on holiday, but also it really helps to bring all your look together if you feel that there's a bit of, you know, discoloration between your neck and your face area. So
yeah,
absolutely, I can't be without bronzer.
I mean, it makes such a bit. And putting on your eyes as well, if you're in like a bit of a rush going on the school run, or you haven't got time, you got that Zoom call that you forgot about. I do that most days. Just chuck a bit of bronzer in the socket, like Addie's doing there. It just really enhances the eyes. I think it's like that multi-purpose, really hard-working product that everyone needs. But you do need to find the right tone. And where, like you said, Son, there used to only be maybe 1 or 2 tones. Just, you know, you need to find the right tone. So go to a brand that does 3 or 4 different shades minimum, so that you can go, okay, I know I've got a medium complexion, I'll go for the medium. I know I've got a deep complexion, I'll go for the deep, because usually now they've balanced the tones correctly. There's some great ones.
Yeah. I've just used the very sunny but beautiful Westman Atelier butter bronzer. It's my new favorite. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a really lovely, a lovely kind of honey medium shade. This is the shade Coupe de Soleil, but it's lovely. It has a really sort of velvety finish on the skin, so it doesn't look like you're wearing a powder. I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury one's quite similar in the finish. It's so sophisticated.
And do you know what? Invest in your base products. Like, if you're going to invest in anything, invest in your base products. They're the things that you'll go back to time and time again, and they're also the things you'll complain about the most if they're not right. Spending your money on that. I mean, it's an investment.
So true.
Because you could almost, like, you could get away with, you know, slightly more budget lipsticks and mascaras and that sort of thing. And mascara, God, high street mascaras are so good, aren't they? I mean, we'll get on to eyes, but and obviously a really quick and simple way to lift the complexion is with blusher, which, you know, is kind of a desert island product, isn't it? It's one of those like instant things that can just make you look kind of awake and much more fresh. Do you, Ade, do you prefer like a powder finish, or are you kind of into creams? And would you use it on a different client? How would you use them differently?
I love creams, believe it or not. And I think what's really fun is that, you know, when people have a certain skin type, especially if they're oily, they think I have to use everything matte. And I feel like I kind of like spin the head on that and say, actually, if you do the prep and make sure that your skin is nice and powdered and, you know, you've got that control of the shine in the certain areas, then you can use cream. So I've got this one by Trinity London, which I love, which is a beautiful color. But I just love how versatile creams are. You can use your fingers. It gives you this beautiful glow. I'm going to use it with a synthetic brush, but just popping that on the cheeks. Look how lovely and glowing. This colour is baby. Yeah. But yeah, I love this Smashbox brush. It's so good.
It's so good.
So multifunctional.
This is my favourite, yeah.
But yeah, you can apply that on the cheeks. Again, you can use it on the lips as well. But how gorgeous is that? And I feel like with cream, you get more of a softer finish as well.
Yeah.
And sometimes powder can look too harsh. So you can build up the intensity that you want with a cream blush. So I'm obsessed with these.
Love it.
And in terms of tones, do you just kind of pick a tone that you're drawn to, or are there certain tones that are better for certain complexions?
So I would say for a certain complexion, like a warmer skin tone like myself, go for those warmer tones. So, you know, there's coppery colours, terracottas, maybe there's sort of subtle plums. Don't be afraid of pink as well, because I naturally have a pinky tone in my lips. So one of the best ways that I kind of advise my clients to kind of choose their perfect lip colour or their cheek colour is actually look at their lip colour. So if you've got that nice pinky tone in there anyway, choose a matching blusher to, like, you know, represent that. I mean, that way you're always going to have the perfect colour. It's like your perfect nude that goes everywhere. You know, on your lips, I can use this colour and it looks really pretty. On my cheeks, if you're fairer skin tone, you can go for those cool tone pinks as well. Again, there's really lovely like peony colours. There's a little bit more of a babyer pink. They look beautiful. But again, it's what I love about makeup is that it's fun. There's no rules. You know, it's not set in stone. There are kind of guides to help you with your choices, but it's not like you have to go with what people say traditionally are with a deeper skin tone, go for deeper colors. You know, for me, I love pink. And most people think, oh, with a darker color, you can't wear pink. You can absolutely wear it. And I feel like creams are a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah,
absolutely. And
well, can I just say
favourites?
what Addie just said there about the tones? I can show you between all of our lips, because you two have got quite pink lips. Mine are quite peachy, and that's why I love to go for like a peachy toned blush. So I'm the same. You know what? To be honest, like I change, because I think that powder blushes now aren't a heavy talc type powder. They're milled so finely that they almost look like creams. But I've got my makeup kit right next to me, like professional makeup kit. The ones I go back to time and time again are the Glossier cloud paints. What I would say is, if you haven't used them before, they're slightly difficult at first because they're liquid. I like to just put a dot on the end of a blusher brush and just buff it in that way. That's the easiest. These by Nude Sticks are fantastic. I'll put some on. This one is the peach color. And you literally just put a dot on the cheeks. If you want to use the brush on the end, you can. And I just like to use my fingers too. But if you smile, put it on the apples of the cheeks, and you're just getting that flash of color. And like Addie said, the great thing about creams too is that they give you that kind of glow, and there's no weight to it. You know, it's not looking heavy, which I love. Love it.
Okay, I'm going to put on a bit of blush using your technique. So Lisa, smile, and then the chubbiest part of the cheek. I've got very chubby cheeks anyway.
Apples of the cheek, yeah, this bit here. So the apples of the cheek, and just kind of press it upwards towards the top of the ears, kind of. That's a simple way. You know, there's so many ways that makeup can change and enhance the shape of your face depending on where you position it. But for us to be able to say that for everyone watching, it's really difficult. Obviously, send us pictures direct if you want some help directly. But for the basic rule of thumb is to put it on the apples of the cheek.
Yeah.
I mean, it instantly just livens up the face, doesn't it?
The power of a good blusher, honestly, it is amazing. Amazing.
And I know we obviously have spoken about the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Hollywood Flawless Filter. But Lisa, you use this as a highlighter as well, don't you?
Yeah, I absolutely love a highlighter. So like I say, I've left that one upstairs, but I've got an alternative with me as well. So I wanted to show you this product too. But yeah, absolutely. If you're using a liquid highlighter or primer, there's a highlighting style underneath your foundation, put a little bit on your fingers and then just pat it on over the top. A lot of people like to put that highlighter here. Now I've got this by Myrick. It's one of my all-time favorite brands. This is amazing. It's unbelievable. Honestly, this is it's called the Dew Wet Balm. In my opinion, it's one of the best products on the market, like full stop. I think that it's one I'd probably go through one every 3 months for work. It's in my kit, and the reason I love it is because first, it's made by a makeup artist, and you can tell. Secondly, it comes in loads of different shades, but this is the rose. And when you pat it on to the skin, it acts like a blush, but it gives you too much blusher on there. I shouldn't have put the other one under, but
that's gorgeous.
Unreal. Like, it's like this wet glow. Now, do not be afraid of this, because when you're doing this, you might think, hold on a minute, that looks almost oily. Well, do you know what? Yes, it does slightly, but then what you would go in and do is mattify this area on the head with a really light powder like the Airbrush Charlotte Tilbury or any other powder. The Vichy Derma Blend is brilliant too, so that you're just focusing on the dewiness here. Because think about it, when you look back at pictures of you when you were like 18, which was obviously about 2 years ago for me, you had no makeup on, but you had this glow. Which is obviously very annoying. I think I probably had Heather Shimmer lipstick on by Rimmel, and that was about it. But this glow is the most youthful thing that you can do. So for people asking, that is a Danessa Myrick's Dew Wet Balm. You can actually only get it on Guru Makeup Emporium. Can't say it, but in the UK, it's an American brand. But this is a fantastic product. The other thing I use it for in the summer is down the center of my legs. Amazing. Amazing. Look at it. Use it on the eyes.
You know what I love about it, Lisa? I love that it's not sparkly. Because so many highlighters are quite, they just don't look great. I mean, they look great when you're kind of doing your makeup, but then when you see yourself in real life or you catch yourself in a mirror, you're like, oh, that's really shimmery and, you know, it looks like a light bulb.
It's like a dry gloss. So it gives you that gloss to the skin without adding that shimmer and shine. Like you say, it just gives you, I mean, I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
And would that work for kind of, you know, skin of all
Definitely.
ages?
Like, you know, this, I just think with this, it's with a product like this, it's so workable. The reason I'm putting it here too is I'm not putting it in the fine lines. This area is going to be the plumpest part of your face forever. Thank goodness for the cheeks. And probably the bit of the nose there as well, but thank goodness for those areas. So by highlighting this area here, you're emphasizing the plumpness of the face, which gives you a youthful finish.
Amazing. I'm sold.
I need to get
that looks so good. So can we move on to eyes, guys? I'm very excited about this element because I have got a lot to learn myself. So Ade, we've all got a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette, so the link should be coming up. Yeah. I've got a slightly different one to you both, but we're putting up a link to a general site where you can kind of have a look at all of the palettes. So I think I've got a complementary colour. I've got a green in there as well. They are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful palettes. So Ade, can you just talk me through, you've got the original, that's the original Mothership palette, isn't it? So how would you use that kind of, how would you use that in a sort of easy, consumer-friendly way?
So the Mothership palettes are amazing because obviously Pat McGrath is the most influential makeup artist in the world, but she really does bring the runway to real way, and a lot of her products are born out of the need to have quick and easy products that deliver. So there's nothing worse than when you see a beautiful pigment in an eyeshadow palette and it takes ages for you to kind of build up that intensity. It literally is as soon as you put your finger into the color, like if I do this green here and I swatch it on my hand, you will see that intense pigment straight away. And that's with it dry. Exactly. So Pat's favorite thing, she has this like hashtag which is called use without caution, because she really believes that you shouldn't be precious with makeup. And I really feel that's exactly how Lisa works. Like she really just like delves into color and literally just like has fun with it, you know? And I love that about Pat. She's like, don't be precious with it, just go straight in. Add a little bit of like, you know, spray. So the best way to apply this is actually just getting a setting spray or a bit of water onto a damp brush and then dipping it into the eyeshadow, and you get this really beautiful sort of like cream gel.
Can I just tell you a really good tip about that, Ade? Sorry. Guys, if you're watching and you've spent a lot of money on an eyeshadow palette, or even if you've bought one that's like a £5, my tip when you're using a wet brush is to always dip it in the bottom right hand side of the eyeshadow, because then you know the bottom right hand side is where you use a wet brush, everywhere else is where you use a dry brush, because when you touch an eyeshadow with a wet brush it does change the formulation. So bottom right hand corner.
Okay, really good tip. Yeah, and that way
that's a top tip.
Yeah, you just go in where you need to. So what I love is that you really transform, and these 4 colors here are what we call like the Blitz Astral, so they're best used wet. But literally if I just take this and put it on my eye, you're just going to see that intense colour come through. And look how easy that is.
I'm going to do it too, I can't help myself.
So quick as well. I mean, so like, you know, wearing colours on the eyes, I feel like, I mean, I'm fairly brave with my makeup, but I'm still quite hesitant wearing bright colours on my eyes. Is there a really sort of entry way to, like Lisa, how would you kind of do it in a in quite an easy way? Just if you were like a bit hesitant about wearing a bright bold green on your eyes, how would you
go for that? No matter what your skin tone, your eye colour, your age, go for jewel tones. So this is the perfect example of a jewel tone. Think of jewelry, so think of emerald and sapphire and ruby, and you want to go for those kind of jewel tones. They're going to really suit everyone, no matter like I said, your age, skin tone, eye color. Now, firstly, like when you're using a palette like this, the reason that it is expensive is because the quality is unbelievable. This has been in my kit and I probably use it once a week on a shoot, let's say. It's been in my kit for about 1.5 years and I have so much product left. So when you invest in good product, it's going to last you. And if you also divide it by the amount of eyeshadows in there, actually, it's not that bad. So with a great thing about a palette like this as well is you've got everyday colors in there. You've got a light brown, you've got copper, you've got a pale pink, but then at the same time, you've got a black that you can create eyeliner with. You've got these colors that you can experiment with. And the easiest way, always have 2 brushes, one clean, one not clean to start with. Well, both clean to start with, guys. But keep your eyes open, particularly if you've got hooded eyes. Go into the socket of the eye. Don't go too close to the center because you don't want the darkness there. And then you take your clean brush to blend. Now, this is important because if you try and use a dirty brush to blend, i.e. one that you've really dipped into an eyeshadow, it will not give you that finish. Doesn't matter how good the eyeshadow is, you just need to make sure you have a clean one. So I'm just going to do it on the other side, like so. Keeping your eyes open.
So have I got the eyeshadow too deep in?
I mean, like Addy said, there really isn't any rules. But for me, that colour, yes, maybe a little bit too deep in. You want to go for a lighter shade on the inner corner and deeper shade on the outer corner. So I'm just blending that. I mean, this green is literally... And Addy, what is it in this formulation that gives it that... Because it look at your eyes. It changes colour. It goes from like black to green to like gold.
Yeah. I think it's just the different sort of particles that Pat really works together to kind of ensure that with the different lights. So what we call them are the high blitz astrals. So there's a mixture of glitters, there's some trio chromes, which basically mean that you're getting 3 eyeshadow colors in one formula. So basically, depending on what area the light hits, you're going to get like green in one light, a little bit of purple in another light. They're literally what Pat calls theatre style makeup, because when you think about all the things that Pat does, she's doing all the shows, for Milan, London, Paris Fashion Week. Everyone's sitting in front row, but they are in different positions. They need to be able to see the makeup from as far as they can see. So she needs those impactful, really high sort of finish and high sort of impactful eyeshadows that they could be seen no matter where you're sitting on the runway.
I love that. Can I just say, guys, I have to go. This is my most used one, actually. This in the green. This color here is exactly what you're saying, Addy. When you turn it one way, it's pink. Then it goes gold. Then it goes silver. I'm going to put some on. So this is what I was saying about you literally need to make sure that you have this lighter kind of shade on this area here.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but watch this.
I've just concealed a little bit back over.
It just, honestly, by doing this, it brightens. I mean, come on. I'm just using my finger here. The other thing about really good quality eyeshadows is that they don't flake under the eyes.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, by you wetting the brush or going with a damp finger, it kind of adheres the eyeshadow to your eyes even better. So that works really well. But yeah, I've literally just taken my finger and pressed that in. You can see on Lisa's eye.
So would that help if you get creasy eyelids? Because that's one of the concerns with eyeshadow, that it's going to sort of settle in the creases. Is it about using a primer, or is it just the technique that you apply the eyeshadow with?
I think a primer helps, but then also the quality of the eyeshadows. If they've got a lot of chalkiness or talc in them, you're going to get more of those crumbly bits. So that's why it's actually better to pay for more good quality eyeshadow, because it really reflects in the way that it's going to sit on your eyes and not create too much texture as well, I think.
Addy, come really close so that everyone can see, because everyone's saying they're loving the close-ups. Yeah, look, we've got 3 completely different skin tones. We're using the same colors on our eyes. It's very rare to be able to do that, particularly when we're using this kind of pinky goldy color here. The dual tones on any eyeshadows do tend to suit everyone, but when you're getting a shade like this, that is such an amazing thing to be able to use it on all different skin tones. And that is because of the quality of that product. I mean, look at it. I can't help looking at everyone's comments. People are like, wow, look how amazing and different it looks on everyone's skin tones. Also, we both use setting sprays. So, Addy, you use the Charlotte Tilbury one, have you?
Yeah, I use the Charlotte Tilbury one.
I've used the iconic Prep Set and Glow one. So you can use any. I need to put some of this gold on now. Should we put some gold on? I can't help myself, honestly.
Oh yeah, let's do
Do
gold.
they sell these individually, Addy, or not?
No, not those ones, unfortunately. Yeah, because they're actually really like creamy. They're like a cream gel formula, so they have to actually be baked in the palette. I don't know if you can see, but the first 6 colors have a metal tin around them, so they can be made individually, but the last 4 are actually baked in the palette.
Oh my God, I love that fact. I don't know if you guys can see that, but what Addy's saying, see the little bit of silver around those shadows? You can see that, but here, it doesn't exist.
Embedded in the actual palette.
Oh, you learn something new every day. Right, I'm going to put a bit of gold right here. Right, guys, seriously, are you ready? I don't think anyone's ready for this because this. Look,
I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready for it.
Okay, Addy, what's that line you told me the other day that you tell about jewelry? It's like jewelry for your eyes.
Exactly. So these are literally like your accessories. So imagine you're building a house. You want to build your structure and your foundations with your matte shadows, create that sort of definition. And then obviously you're going to dress up the house with your accessories. So putting that nice sofa in, you know, hanging up the paintings. These are what these eyeshadows are like. These are like your accessories for the eyes. So they're that thing that you can put on at the end of your evening or after work when you really want to kind of jazz up your eye makeup look with your fingers or with a damp brush. Super quick and easy. I mean, you can create an eye look in minutes with these eyeshadows.
I mean,
So
we literally just have. Do you know what? I've just put a disco ball in my bedroom, a giant one, for this very reason. Because we can't go out, but look at us in sequins. I'm going to come round, girls. I'm going to go upstairs. Theo, get ready. We're going to have a party upstairs with a disco ball.
and she's not joking, guys.
You know what? She's not joking. She's not joking. This is, I mean, someone's just said that it would be a great palette under glasses. It is. It's so impactful, isn't it? You can kind of really see the colours. I'm so impressed, actually. That's amazing. And this is, I'm quite a cautious eyeshadow wearer, but I'm going to be using that.
I've got some glitter with me, like loose glitter. Shall I just put some on?
Of course you have glitter.
Come on, right, listen. Whatever happens at Christmas, it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. But what I mean, it doesn't matter in terms of your makeup. I would wear glitter on a Monday, go into the local shop. I just think that, you know, why I never save my best for the best. I just think that if you've bought something that you love, wear it. Whether it's your shoes, your clothes, your makeup, whatever it is, do it. And I'm going to put, you know, a little bit of glitter on because I've got some here. I'm going to put this on by MAC. It's one of my all-time favorites. Wow. It's called 3D Pink. Oh, my God, it's so good. See, Jackie's with me. Never too early in the week for Jackie. Jackie, you're the kind of girl. So,
and can you wear glitter? You can wear glitter at any age, right? I mean, there's no age
anyone
limit
that says that there's an age limit for glitter, get them out of your life. You don't need that toxic attitude. No, there's, you know, honestly, seriously, anytime. So I'm using, this is the Carla Powell Fix Potion, and it's just a clear gel, and I'm going to put it into, I mean, I don't really know what I'm going to do here, but I'm going to put it in the center of the eyes. Then I'm going to dip this in here. Oh, even I'm excited. And oh my God, look at my brush. Right.
Oh my God,
okay, I've just tapped some off on the floor. That's what a Hoover's for. And then...
Oh my God, Lisa Potter-Dixon, that is amazing.
I'll put some here too. So this is the 3D glitter by MAC. You know, listen, this is the power of makeup. It's not about necessarily how it makes you look, it's how it makes you feel.
Exactly.
I think
that's so true. What shade is that glitter?
3D Pink, and it's from MAC, and it's just one of their loose glitters. But I just think that channel your inner share at any opportunity.
Oh yes. I'm all for that. So eyeliner. Do you need to use eyeliner if you're using a sort of heavier eyeshadow, or what would you do, Lise? What would you do,
Go on, Addy, because you love a bit of eyeliner.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the foxiest eyes I've ever seen, honestly.
There's so many different ways, and again, it's all about, you know, playing with the liner. I love a gel-based liner, so Pat do some great perma gel pencils, because with a gel, you have a little bit of playtime, so you can whack it on. If you make a mistake, it's fine. I always say, if in doubt, smoke it out. That's one of the best things about, eyeliner. And I think sometimes with a liquid liner, if you make a mistake, it's kind of like, oh my God, I've messed it up, and you really want to remove it. But with a gel-based liner, you can like buff it into the eyes and then just kind of blend it out. So it's amazing. Bobbi Brown do the gel ink liners in a pot, which come in different colors. They're also great as an eyeshadow base. That's another really good tip as well, is actually put the gel liner all over the eye and then just smoke it out. You've got like a quick and easy smoky eye in a matter of minutes. That's also a great thing. So yeah, I love that. And then also liquid liner if you want more of a precise wing. So I love so many different versions of that. But yeah, definitely eyeliner.
And what would be your sort of best tip for doing a winged eyeliner? I'm actually going to follow your advice as you speak, because I've got a liquid eyeliner with me. So tell me, what should I be doing?
So you see your bottom waterline just here. I always do a line.
Say I've got one.
From there first, going upwards.
This is
a really good tip. Yeah, because a lot of times people don't really struggle with applying the liner here. It's about getting the wings of the liner even on either side.
Oh,
so just by
following. I think we need to say it again, because all I can hear is Sonia looking for
Sorry. I found it. Let's start again.
You've got a bit birds on. Touch your screen, see if it clears it up. There you go. That's a bit better.
Yeah, it's better. Perfect. So yeah, using your bottom waterline, use that as a guide and then do like a line extension going up. Perfect. And also another tip that I have is to actually use the actual sort of body of the nib as kind of like a guide. So don't use the point. That's it. Perfect. Because it's really hard to control the liner when it's on its nib, on its point. So actually, you've already got a straight line. Just press that against the lash line, and that really helps. Yeah. Perfect.
I think that tip that Addie just said is what, as makeup artists, we all use and then never really speak about for some reason. I don't know why, but you're completely right, taking it under. But also the other thing is that I always do before I do liner is make sure my brows are filled in, because your brows should end. Oh, I don't know what I was doing there. Should end here. See, mine are quite short at the moment. So if I haven't filled them in, and then I try to do my liner, because your liner should almost go up to the point of the end of the brow. My liner would go too far up. So just make sure your brows end in the right place first, then do the trick that Addie just said of taking it under. And also, don't worry, it doesn't have to be sharp. Where Addie said the whole smoke it out thing, it doesn't just, that works for so many things. When you've done your liner, try it first with a eyeshadow rather than the liner as well, because then you can just smoke it out. And if you're really struggling, use your bronzer to draw the line first to create a template, and then go over it with your liner.
That's a good tip.
Amazing. That's genius. So you're almost kind of then tracing over the line with your actual eyeliner.
That was great.
And then obviously, thank you. And then obviously, finishing with lashings and lashings of mascara.
I mean, shitloads of mascara. It's what you need. Sorry, we're all adults. Telegraph are going to be like, don't invite her again. No, you're right. I've got a is it Marc Jacobs At Lashed?
It is the Marc Jacobs At Lashed. I absolutely love it, and this is actually one that you recommended me, Lisa. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Ade, what one have you used?
I've actually got lashes on already. So these are some Eyeliner ones, which I absolutely love, because not all lashes are made the same, but Eyeliner do some great lashes. This is a collaboration with Gary the Plastic Boy, who was amazing. I absolutely adore him. But I just love how thin the band is and how fluttery it is. And that's a really good tip if you're applying lashes. But I'm going to go with a bit of mascara. This is the Fetishized Mascara by Pat McGrath Labs. Really good for lash building, extension, as well as also thickening as well, because I don't have many lashes. That's why I love wearing a false lash.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that like false lashes, I think if you can do them properly, they look so incredible. Like on Addie, I'm always like blown away by how her lashes look. On myself, I think that I prefer using lots of mascara because I don't have time to put lashes on. But also for me, where I'm getting older, I'm 38 now, my eyes are going slightly hooded on the side. I find that I don't have as much space as I used to have on the eyes. Now, for me, individual lashes can be so amazing, but when you've got a great mascara, and the Marc Jacobs That Lash is my favorite with the Benefit Bad Girl Bang, and I've tried all the mascaras, they're my favorite. Layering it up, turning the wand vertically to make sure you get every side tiny little lash is so important. What is also so important is to have your lashes tinted. Now, obviously the beauty salons aren't open yet, but if you can pre-book your appointment now to go and get your lashes tinted, or even the LVL lash lift, that is a game changer.
I've had that. Yeah.
It is a game, isn't it? I mean, we've got, as soon as they open again, we all need to be supporting our local salon. So if you've not had those treatments before, they are incredible.
I'll be booking in, that's for sure. And bottom lashes as well. If you're going for quite a heavy lash.
Yeah,
quite a
I'll
heavy
tell you
eyelid.
another tip though, because a lot of people, right, firstly, if you find that your mascara transfers a lot, do your bottom lashes first, because we tend to look up when we do our bottom lashes. If your top lashes are wet from putting mascara on, it's going to transfer to your eye makeup and it's quite hard to remove. Another tip, and I don't actually think I've got one here, so I'll just use a brush, but you can take a cotton bud or a brush, flat brush like this, but a cotton bud's fine. Put it underneath your lashes and then just hold it underneath as you go along, and that will stop it from transferring underneath the eyes. That'll be neater. And then the other thing is just to, like Addie spoke about earlier, if you find that it transfers a lot underneath your eyes, it's probably not the mascara, it's probably your concealer being too oily. So mattify it with a powder.
Great.
Amazing. Such great tips. Right. I'm quite conscious of the time because we can actually talk for hours on end. But let's go on to lipsticks. So we've all each chosen our favorite, or one of our favorite red lipsticks. I've got MAC Ruby Woo, which is a real classic blue red lipstick. I absolutely love it. Ade, what have you got?
Pat McGrath Labs lipstick. This is the matte trance in the color Elson. Perfect. Like anybody can wear this red lipstick, which I absolutely love.
I've got Lisa Eldridge Velvet Morning, which is an orangey red. Love this. And do you know what? The thing about all three of those lipsticks, like Addie said, is anyone can wear these. Do not be afraid of a red lipstick. This is the queen of the makeup world. It really is. It will transform your entire look. I also love that I'm about to put a red lipstick on when I've got a glittery eye on.
Well, you know, we're talking Christmas makeup. It's fine. And also, if we're all doing virtual Christmases, you know, we can do eyes and lips. That's all good. So, best technique, straight from the bullet?
Yes, if you want that full coverage. But if you're kind of tentative and you're like entry level, trying a new red lipstick, then maybe popping it onto your hand or applying it with a brush or pressing it on with your fingers. So there's so many different ways. I always say you can get like 3 different finishes with a red lipstick. Using it with your fingers, pressing it in, or you can even just kind of buff it in with a brush or just go straight from the bullet. So you get like 3 different lipsticks in one go.
Yeah.
And Lisa, these all have quite good staying power, don't they? Are there any ways to enhance staying power?
Prep your lip with a lip balm, but don't do it and then put your lipstick straight on, because that will just take it off. So what I like to do is put a lip balm on maybe a little time before, even if it's 10 minutes before, but then pat the lip balm off. That's just going to keep your lips hydrated. Obviously, we're wearing the mask at the moment. We don't want our lipsticks to transfer. So for me personally, I'll put it on the bottom lip, and then pat, 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 and then I'll buff it. So I'll take, it's that classic eyeshadow brush again, and just go backwards and forwards. Now, this is also really good if your lipstick tends to bleed. So if you've got quite thin lips, or maybe you've got lines around your lips and it bleeds, just buffing it in so it gives you this diffused look around the lip is so amazing, and it does stop. Oh, there you go, Vivian. Yes, to stop it from bleeding, this will help. It just diffuses it. It's quite a modern look as well, but it makes it stay longer. Then, top tip. Well, I've got 2, but I don't want in case Addie's going to say one of these. First, do that. Yeah. Because anything that comes up on your finger would have gone on your teeth. And then the second thing, put a tissue over your mouth, just normal tissue, and dust a bit of powder over the top of the tissue. And that will mattify your lip slightly and keep it in place longer.
So, best tips.
And Ade, are you you're using a lip liner?
I am. Yeah, this is actually by a brand called Emolian. It's like a new lipstick brand, really great. But I love them because they're like gel based, so they're not your traditional pencils. The gel formula like keeps everything airtight and like locks it in. So that's a really good tip. Don't just go for a traditional lip pencil. Go for a gel based one. And also you can fill in your lip with the pencil first and then go in with your lipstick afterwards, because that also helps that, you know, when you get that horrible line when you're like drinking and all that sort of stuff as well, the actual lipstick and the lip liner wears off beautifully together and you're not left with that horrible line afterwards. So that's a really good tip as well.
Addy, you look like you should be in the West End.
I know, you look amazing.
You guys do as well.
So great. So I've got someone's just asking for the Victoria for the brand again. So I've got MAC Ruby Woo. Lisa, you've got Lisa Eldridge. Is it Velvet Morning? Velvet Morning. And Ade's got we just popped up the link. Pat McGrath lipstick in Elson. So we are hurtling towards the end, guys. But I'm obsessed with this makeup look. I'm enjoying it. Now I've got a couple of Christmassy questions. Have you seen or have you thought of any like lovely beauty gifts that you'll be buying friends or family this Christmas, and anything that you can recommend? Can I start first? This amazing, and I think you'll both appreciate this, from Boots number 7.
Oh, the Wizard of Oz.
This
Wizard of Oz. Amazing.
It's velvet. It's £35, but the bag, I'm just obsessed with the bag. For £35, plus lots of kind of, there's a lipstick in there, a sparkling mascara, and actually this is going to my mum. She'll really, really appreciate that. But the velvet bag, I feel like it's matching our look today. Lisa,
oh my goodness. Do you know what? This year I feel like everyone's outdone themselves. There is so much. It is crazy. Like MAC always stands out to me every year. They've done this firework collaboration. The bags are made of tinsel. You can't get any more Christmassy than that. The other thing that I have to say, actually, I'm just thinking off the top of my head here, but something that, guys, is such a nice gift. Guerlain, I wish I'd got one here with me, but I don't. Guerlain do these lipstick cases, which are about £20, but you reuse them time and time again, and they're crystallized, and they've got a mirror inside, and they're so gorgeous, and you just put the lipstick inside. They're amazing. And the other one with a lipstick is Carolina Herrera has bought out £40, about 42 quid. This lipstick that you personalize with your initials on the end, and it's also a bag clip. Have you seen them?
Oh yeah, I've seen them. They are awesome. They are so beautiful, aren't they?
Amazing. Wow.
Imagine having that.
Honestly, I just think, and it looks so, I mean, 42 quid is expensive for a lipstick, but you can then reuse the thing time and time again. It's just amazing.
Love.
Amazing. And Ade, what about you?
Oh my gosh, so actually the Mothership Mega Palette would be like my gift, because I think a lot of people want to kind of delve into the Pat McGrath eyeshadows, but obviously they are quite expensive, but this is like a great sort of like, you know, gift to give somebody. The palette's a little bit cheaper, but you're getting so many eyeshadow palettes. I wish I grabbed mine, but it's absolutely amazing. Yeah,
that's what I got. This one is
the best, and you get so many different like colors in there. You've got the mirror as well, which is huge. It's absolutely stunning. I think it's about £78, whereas a normal Mothership palette's 125. So really, really great value for money, and it's just amazing. And also I love like skincare. So for me, just something that you can use to kind of pep up the skin. So I'm loving the new mask. I know that Lisa, you love it too, the new one by Medicate, which is amazing. I use it to plump up my skin beforehand. So for somebody that really wants that like pick me up or a treat for their skin.
It's HEO. It's called HEO, isn't it? HEO.
HEO, it's so good.
And do you know what? It's officially the most hydrating face mask in the world. They've managed to balance 3 ingredients. I mean, there's, you know, Elliot and Dan who run Medicate are scientists. They're incredible guys. And they've managed to balance these 3 ingredients so that what happens is the product goes into the skin. It's overnight. You use it 2-3 times a week. It goes into the skin, but then the second product that you put on acts like a veil on the skin to lock in the moisture so that it doesn't evaporate out of your skin. It's crazy.
Ooh. Yeah, that's right, Jacqueline. It's the HEO by Medicate. Amazing. Well, we've got we've got a few minutes left. I'm going to go into, oh my goodness, we've had so many questions, but I'm going to pick out some questions that we haven't covered already in our makeup tutorial. Oh, let's talk about eyebrows. Any favorite eyebrow products?
I mean,
What do you like?
Yeah, I mean, Benefit really own the eyebrow game. They're really great. They're precisely the my brow pens, which you've both got. Although I'll tell you a product that I'm really impressed with is the Max Factor Brow Revival. It's a brow gel which has got color in it, but it's also got like 5 essential oils in it, one being castor oil, so it actually helps to make your brows grow too.
Amazing.
Oh wow, amazing. I've been using a similar one by Bare Minerals actually, which I really
the Revita Brow is or something. It's yeah,
it's like strength and length brow gel or something, which is brilliant. I mean, those kind of brush mascara ones are so good for kind of eyebrows of any sort of shape and density.
And you know, like when you're doing a gel, if you've got brows that are sparse, the tip is to brush your brows up first with a clear gel. Then you're going to see where all the gaps are. Fill in the gaps with your brow pencil, and then you can either brush the brow hair back down and you've got that bottom layer of hair-like strokes on the brow, or you leave the brow feathered up and it's full. Yes, great.
So good.
Amazing. We've been asked a few questions about cleaning brushes. How often do you both clean your brushes?
Every day.
I mean, I don't. Is weekly okay?
Do you know what? It's good to like do a deep clean at least once a week, but then there are some great palettes that you can get for spot cleaning as well. So something that's really good that you can just do on the spots, and once you finish using your brushes, you can just clean it. So Bobbi Brown do a really great one. I know MAC do a really great sort of brush cleaner as well. Sephora did one that was really, really great that I used to go and get every time I used to go overseas. But just something that's quick and easy that just disinfects your brushes and doesn't make them too oily at the same time, which is great.
And I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but on my website, which is my name, I think it was tagged at the top, there's actually a brush cleaning tutorial, so you can see it on there, because the deep clean is really important. But the reality of it is, guys, is that if you haven't got time once a week, at least set yourself an alarm in your phone once a month maximum to clean your brushes, because when you start seeing dry patches on your skin, when you start seeing redness, when you start seeing spots and you're thinking, what is this? Most of the time it will be because of your brushes being dirty. So cleaning them is key.
Sort of serums and moisturizers, and it's so subjective, isn't it? Because it's down to kind of how your skin is and what you feel like your skin needs. But do either of you have any kind of hero serums or kind of skincare products that you just can't live without? Ade, let's start with you.
So many. Advanced Night Repair Estee Lauder, I think that's, a really good cult classic. One of the original formulations of serums, but it's just really good for that deep down hydration. And, I don't just use it at nighttime. I even use it in the day. I have it in my kit. I mix it in with foundations for more of a glowy, sheer finish as well. So that's always great. It's packed full of hyaluronic acid, which everybody can use. That's really good for plumping and hydration. And then I also love a vitamin C serum. I think vitamin C is amazing. Murad do some great ones, and they've really kind of got that balance between glycolic acid, which is great for exfoliation and brightening, as well as vitamin C, which is a great antioxidant to protect your skin. So I love them as well. So yeah, they'll be like my best. I think always have a really good hydrating serum, and then also a great antioxidant protection serum to really help protect your skin every single day. And SPF, guys, always wear SPF.
Always. I think think of it this way, like always have your hyaluronic, like Addie said. My favorite is the Hadelabo Super Hydrator. For 18 quid, it's one of the best products out there. It's #1 bestseller in Japan for a reason, and if you think about it this way, vitamin C, which is like your orange juice, always have your vitamin C in the morning. So put your vitamin C on, and then your vitamin A at nighttime. So if you're unsure, you can use them day and night. But I really love mixing my serums. Oh God, I love so many, but I love, there's a lot of new, amazing indie brands coming through. Like Codex is an amazing, amazing brand. But then you've got brands like Sunday Riley and Ven, and there's so many brands. Like Sonia, like you said, you really need to kind of experiment. And this is a good time because it's Black Friday coming up. There's going to be deals left, right, and center. So keep your eyes open. But you've got the experts online everywhere. Ask questions. That's what, you know, everyone, we're all here to do. There's loads of skincare experts. There's loads of stuff and information online. You know, Sonia writes every single day about different things like this. So you can always, you know, refer back to that as well. I just think that get it from people's opinions because products are expensive. So read and listen to what people recommend.
I use a vitamin C every single morning. I always use a good SPF every day. And yeah, vitamin A or a really lovely nourishing face oil in the evenings. I mean, there's, I think the great thing about beauty now in 2020 is it's so democratic. And it seems like, you know, for every price point, there are really brilliant products. Yeah. Which leaves me with saying goodbye to you both. I almost feel like we need to do a separate one on skincare one day, but I thank you both so much. Honestly, we've come to the end of our hour, and I could genuinely carry on speaking to you both for another few of these at least.
Thank you so much.
Lisa and Adeola, thank you so much for educating myself and also our brilliant listeners, viewers, readers. So that's all for me to say for the end of our big beauty night in. Thank you all so much for joining, and have a lovely Thursday.
See
bye,
bye,
bye guys.
See ya.